Scientist reveals his personal diary about ETs, UFOs and secret government operations after fleeing the U.S. The Explorer. A notebook allegedly belonging to a scientist involved in alien and UFO affairs has surfaced on the internet. The document reveals data from when the researcher was analyzing and questioning ETs held in secret government facilities. We all aspire to that day when aliens would come rushing from above in their fancy spaceships and hail all Earthlings respectfully. Or maybe incite war on the planet. But what if I told you that intelligent extraterrestrial life forms may have already landed here and there's also palpable evidence to prove it? A document entitled Project Pulsar was recently brought to light and it reveals some really mind-boggling stuff about aliens, UFOs and other governmental projects. This file allegedly belonged to a scientist employed by the U.S. government to examine and interrogate captured ETs. During his endeavor, the researcher took notes of everything from linguistic aspects, reproductive behavior, appearance of different types of ETs, psychic abilities and various other aspects. His name doesn't appear on the front cover as you would have expected, but those who put this report together mentioned that he kept most of the notes even after his job was done. Since the powers that be had eyes everywhere, he was prone to getting killed, but fortunately he managed to escape the US alive. He refused to disclose his identity because he further feared for his family's life and his own. His notes made available by Coverup Media represent a collection of data compiled over a 33-year period. The author had allegedly fled the country in 1990 and years after made his notes available to different trustworthy people. The content depicts 9 different dialects used by extraterrestrial species: Nordic, Pleiadian, Sirius, Vegan, Orion, Thai, Antarian, Grey, and there is also mention of an universal communication system. His analyses are packed with symbols and other interpretations. Further on, the document describes human and alien abilities, in particular the genetic power, the ability to mentally control surroundings, rearrange or create matter and/or project illusions. It appears that both humans and aliens have this power, although ETs need a special implant in the brain to activate it, while humans are able to channel cosmic energy through the pineal gland located at the center of our brains. There's also a reminder of Project MKUltra, sometimes referred to as the CIA's mind control program. Despite CIA's involvement in various controversial procedures on human subjects, the document tells of how aliens have also engaged in performing human experiments. In fact, it appears they've been doing it for quite some time, way longer than the CIA. Several alien races have been monitoring the human genetic process for millennia. Their presence on Earth has turned more intense because during this last century, 1990s, we started genetic change, at first very slowly, and then very quickly, the document reads. It appears that in the case of extraterrestrials, we don't need to fear them as much as our own governmental organizations. Could it be that aliens are actually concerned for the safety of our race and want to get all nukes banished? If ETs have been observing and to some extent interacting with Earth for centuries, why delay a hostile occupation? The rather marked increase in UFO and ETA activities coincide with the dawn of the human nuclear age in the mid-1940s would indicate a genuine concern about human hostile capabilities, the report mentioned. A former Canadian Minister of Defence disclosed more relevant facts that could offer more credence to the content of this document. The 92-year-old ex-minister said that if he wanted to know about the workings of an alien spacecraft he would simply ask the current Chief of Emergency Measures. Paul Hellyer by his name revealed his reason at an ET conference in Ontario, Canada. The reason I know is I interviewed the previous one, who is now deceased, and he went to Langley and the CIA asked if he would like to see one of these crafts. They flew him to Area 51 and let him go inside one and observe it and make notes and this sort of thing. Pulsar Project is indeed an intriguing piece of paper, but its content lacks some well-put scientific allegations. As far as I'm concerned, every scientist likes to boast his point of view through highly elevated speech that sometimes sends your head into the clouds rather than offer relevance, so I wouldn't throw my hand in fire over the authenticity of this document. However, it's worth mentioning that numerous relevant TT/UFO cases are translated from different languages, which set a certain linguistic barrier that further labels them as forgeries, although they're not. With this in mind, Pulsar Project would only seem relevant, from my point of view, if it was transcribed by someone who's not a native English speaker. Could this be the case, considering that our anonymous researcher fled the US and was never heard of since then? Whatever the case, the UFO and extraterrestrial phenomenon is becoming a reality for more and more people. It's not a secret anymore, just a matter of keeping your mind outside the box. Help the Truth Can Change Your Life channel to raise the vibration, and share and subscribe this article with your family and friends.